So you're scrolling around on the Twitter app the other day, and you come across some stupid bullshit like this. You make your reply and promptly fuck off and forget about it, because why waste your time and energy giving any of these stupid assholes the attention they desire? Oh, look, one more dumb twunk calling the OG fans of a franchise racist, especially coming from a Disney property.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
Now, I should have just done this video back on Monday when I happened to come across this, but I'm dumb. I think that I've aptly demonstrated this quality of mine over the last year that I've been doing this. Things like that just don't always click with me. I mean, they should, but they don't. So here I am, going through this 2 days after the fact, and doing a video about it now. Oh well, it's my YouTube channel and I'll do what I want. If you don't want to watch, you won't watch and I can't make you, as you all have so aptly demonstrated over the past year. So, hey everyone, I am the Goblin King, and today I found the article that Data Racer referenced through this Here Bounding into Comics article. Now, the Bounding article obviously goes into what we're about to get into, and they also go into some of the other incidents where Disney or their employees have managed to label a majority of their paying customers as racists or white supremacists. Now, this is a common tactic of the fringe lunatic woke cult members that most often self-identify as liberals in the current day, leaving many classical anti-war, anti-corpo, anti-authoritarian liberals such as myself, Tim Pool, and many others scratching our heads and wondering what the actual fuck happened. This little tactic of theirs is also why words such as Nazi, racist, white supremacist, misogynist, and all the ists and phobes in the world just hold zero actual meaning or weight anymore. When you're using these words every 5 seconds to describe people that don't like your TV show, or your movie, or your pathetic fucking reboot of a perfectly good franchise, people are going to fucking laugh at you. Which is what I, and most of the people these days, do. It's legit not even worth the stress or energy it takes to get mad anymore. Especially not when some rando with an anime or cartoon avatar and clear mental issues, often prominently displayed, mind you, calls you something like that. It's much more fun to point and laugh and make fun of them for being stupid. Oftentimes, these dumb motherfuckers will say some of the most racist shit imaginable too. The disconnect in their brains from reality and logic is something to behold, let me tell you. Coming back to the point of this whole diatribe is that these articles, both the ones from Bounding and the one from The Independent, which I'll be pulling up, are just more instances of the same thing. Something that many companies, but Disney in particular, has done multiple times over the past few years when facing any sort of criticism over their products. Whether that's a Marvel production that failed to blow up the way they wanted, or a Star Wars property that garnered a lot of backlash. The people who criticized it were automatically blanketed with all the ist and faux comments that these idiots could pull out of their asses. Now, as I said, we have this coming up from the female lead in the upcoming Kenobi series on Disney+. A series that nobody asked for, nobody wanted, and will, if the leaks are correct, lore-breaking and bait-and-switching that these recent properties have all been doing. Again, especially from Disney. What's that? You like Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye? How about we show you Jeremy Renner in a Hawkeye show, but then the show's 95% about Kate Bishop and how strong and amazing she is. WandaVision? 90% Wanda, and she's hailed as a hero after enslaving and mentally torturing thousands of men, women, and children because she gave up her family of Sims characters. You like Loki, you say? Loki being upstaged and dragged around by the balls by a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Same thing with Moon Knight from what I hear. Again, according to these leaks, this is going to be the same thing. Something that people have been predicting since the original trailer dropped, by the way. They draw you in with the promise of Ewan McGregor and then bait and switch you with this chick, Moses Ingram. Something that people have been speculating on since the trailer dropped as well, about Ingram's character nobly sacrificing herself for Obi-Wan and Luke, is something that the alleged leaks also point out. Now, it's more of a roundabout way that she does this, but it's there all the same. As well as that nice lore-breaking duel between Obi-Wan and Vader that people knew was fucking coming. So I pulled this up on the archive site because fuck giving The Independent or this shitty-ass article any fucking traffic whatsoever. Now, going through the article, the dude writing it is clearly gobbling down every inch of Ingram's metaphorical knob and loving every bit of it, when we get to this point here. First off, he states unironically that non-white actors have been given short shrift in classic Star Wars properties. She states, Obi-Wan is going to bring the most diversity I think we've ever seen in the galaxy before, says Ingram. To me, it's long overdue. If you've got talking droids and aliens, but no people of color, it doesn't make any sense. It's 2022, you know, so we're just at the beginning of that change, but I think to start that change is better than never having started it. I mean, it really makes me wonder what the fuck these two dumbass shows are actually on about. First off, as my response to Data Racer, which I showcased earlier, clearly points out, these two idiots deliberately step over two of the most prominent characters in the Star Wars mythos with these assertions. Lando Calrissian and Jedi Master Mace Windu, played by the legendary Billy D. Williams and Samuel L. Jackson respectively. Sam Jackson, who demanded his purple motherfucking lightsaber and damn well got his purple motherfucking lightsaber, who killed Jango Fett like a fucking boss and died a true noble death battling against Darth Sidious. Lando Calrissian, who was instrumental in the escape from Cloud City and taking down Jabba the Hutt, and blew up the second Death Star. That's just counting the movies, by the way. That's not counting any other medium from video games, to TV series, to comics, to expanded universe novels, in which both of these characters also featured very prominently. Then there's this nice collage that Data Racer also put together of all the different non-white human characters within the Star Wars films. That last one in the corner there, I believe, is a joke based on how the Tusken Raiders were portrayed in the Boba Fett TV show. Which, in and of itself, is pretty fucking funny, honestly. Then, as another person pointed out, they made an entire army out of a non-white guy in the Clone Wars, Temuera Morrison. With this casting, the prequels even did the job of retconning Boba Fett himself, another prominent and beloved character from the original series, into the Maori actor. So I have to ask, again, what the actual fuck are these two idiots on about? One more thing this idiot writer does in his shitty framing of this whole interview is bring up both Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best when it comes to the toll being in Star Wars can take on an actor. So tell me, Louis Chilton, who was it that was talking all the shit back then about the prequels? The ones that were most prominent, I mean. The ones that everyone saw back then because this was well before the internet was a household item like a fucking vacuum cleaner. Because most people weren't looking there for their news, entertainment or otherwise, even in the late 90s. So who was it that was driving Ahmed Best, known for his role as Jar Jar Binks, into suicidal depression at the time? Fans didn't really have much of a voice back then, so it must have been assholes like you in the mainstream press. The same fuckers lambasting a little fucking kid for his role as little Anakin. In fact, I do believe that both of them have pointed their fingers at the mainstream press for the toll those roles took on their mental health, and people like me are never going to let moral, grandstanding assholes like you forget that either. Then he goes into that tired-ass, largely debunked bullshit narrative about John Boyega receiving racist attacks and Kelly Marie Tran being bullied off the internet for the same. Kelly Marie Tran stated quite succinctly that she didn't like social media before she left her Instagram account. Also, she was filming a movie at the time, and also stated quite succinctly in her letter to the New York Times that it was Hollywood's expectations of her that she didn't like. John Boyega may or may not have received racist bullshit from fans. I don't know about that. I know that people generally thought at that point that the stormtroopers were supposed to be clones, so were confused by a black stormtrooper. I know that the most racist shit John Boyega received, and which he called out a few times, was from Disney itself, reducing his role from The Force Awakens to being little more than a comic relief character in The Last Jedi. Also, it was Disney that reduced John Boyega's image down on the Chinese release of The Force Awakens poster. Why? Specifically, because he's black. That's why. But this chode, Louis Chilton, isn't going to tell you that, is he? Nah, he's got a racist Star Wars fan narrative to push after all. Then we come to the real crew of this part of the interview. This would be the other solidly bullshit part that was being spoken of in the Bounding into Comics article. This idea that Disney's Lucasfilm itself is pushing these ideas that because she's black, she's going to be getting all kinds of hate from the racist Star Wars fans. Now, am I going so far as to absolutely deny that those kinds of retards exist in the world? Not at all. That would be as stupid and disingenuous as the author for this article is, and naive to boot. If it was just then talking about a handful of people among the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Star Wars fans, that'd be one thing. However, you can tell by the very framing of this whole thing, from the "no brown people existed before me" narrative spin to the racist attacks that the author set up right before quoting this line. They're setting up the fans who might criticize them as racist before the show even comes out. Why? Because then, if they get the backlash from this that they're clearly expecting, they can just point to the racist fans and blame them. Oh, it was all those racists that gave our jewel of a show a bad image. Blame them, not us and our shitty writing. Look at the way they criticize the powerful black whammons. They clearly don't like our show because they're just racist, misogynist trolls. No, I'm not a seer. These fucking morons are just that fucking predictable at this point. It was clear from the trailer that Obi-Wan's going to take a backseat in his own series. The powerful black whammons that don't need no man is going to be the true hero that allowed Luke to grow up and save the galaxy with his friends. Also, remember folks, by her own words, she's the only non-white character that ever existed in Star Wars up to now. Anyway folks, I've come to the end of my diatribe, which will probably be deemed racist by all the usual suspects. Or it would if they actually watched it. As always, this diatribe is my opinion and nothing more. Except for the factual stuff, like Kelly Marie Tran didn't get bullied off the internet and Disney was fucking racist to John Boyega. Those are objective facts. If you want to give me your opinions or some facts you found along the way, you can do so in that handy section down below. Also, if you want to hear more of my stupid opinions because you like them, for some reason, you can get a whole lot more of my special brand of stupid by crushing those like and subscribe buttons, like a goblin. If you made it this far into the video, I thank you and love you. I'll see you all tomorrow with some more pop culture indecent exposure. See you then. Late.